So I had a client ask me about 15-minute cities, and I'm going to tell you why they're not going to work. Because humans are stupid. Okay, that was kind of mean, but hang in there. When you go down rabbit holes and you take a look at the CIA, the government, the FBI, many times they'll say one department does not know what the other department is doing. In fact, with CIA, specifically with classified, non-disclosed programs, they'll be sitting right beside each other in the same office, and one does not know what the other one is doing, nor are they supposed to. But there is a higher power that's instructing them of what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. If they all collaborated, would it make life a lot easier, discoveries a lot easier? 100%. Right on. So this is why 15-minute cities aren't going to work. And I got proof because it's happening right here in the Tri-City, actually Quad City that I live in. There's like 4 cities that are all back-to-back here in Canada. So WEF, whoever it is up there that is telling us we need to have 15-minute cities, they're not giving anyone a blueprint. Okay, they're doing things like the traffic speed, put in walkways, put in areas where people can bike. They're asking for infrastructure, like new locations of housing, which is homes, not really housing, meant to be in a certain infrastructure. Even in the UK, I'm in Canada, even in the UK, they've instructed, it was Oxford, the town of Oxford. They wanted the downtown core to be active with people and bikes and not cars. So certain hours they would shut it down, so cars weren't able to be in that area. And even that is not working out. And I'll tell you why. So here, they're putting in bike lanes that make no sense. Okay, they're putting in bike lanes that are actually dangerous. And I live in Canada, so we have winters, and we have big trucks that go around and take the snow away on roadways. And there are certain busy locations where they're putting these, not these pylons, but these cement block, I don't know what you call them, but it doesn't allow anyone to like be able to veer off. But here we go, winter comes, and all of these trucks are like being smashed up and banged up because they keep hitting them because they can't see them in the snow. Some of the locations are super dangerous. No, you're not even seeing bikers on there. You're looking and you're seeing bikers actually on the sidewalk because they don't want to be right beside a busy traffic. They don't want to be driving on the road with traffic. The kids don't want to do it. The mothers don't want the kids to do it. Spending all of this money, putting in all of this infrastructure for bikes and walking, and it's actually dangerous because it's not separate from the actual road, cars, traffic. The proper way, which I've seen in some cities, is where you have your road, you have a grass sort of area, and then you have your two-way traffic for bikes, and then you have your sidewalk. Or you just go willy-nilly, like what they do in Amsterdam, and basically the bikes completely take over. But that's not going to happen in Canada, and it's not going to happen in a lot of places in the United States, because we're not raised on the biking environment like they are in Amsterdam. So the city is given like this memo, right? We want you to do this, do that, do this, do that. Every single city has its own complications, and no one's giving them detailed instructions or engineered blueprints on exactly how to do it. So here they're tearing up streets left, right, and center so that they can make room for these biking lanes that nobody's going to use because nobody wants to bike. Like literally all they're doing is narrowing the street and putting in a biking lane. It's pretty dangerous. Specifically where there's turns and left turns, right turn. It's not meant for bikes. Our city is infrastructure is not made for it. So the city is screwing up. The city is making mistakes. They're not speaking the same language. They're not talking or communicating to each other. Each city is doing it completely different in this Tri-City, a Quad City area that I live in. And it makes no rhyme or reason. There's one city actually that in a certain area that's done the best. And that's because they just tore the whole thing up and started fresh from brand new. Not trying to like squeeze in according to their budget what they can do. And this is going to happen all over the world, like all over the Western world where they want these 15-minute cities to be. They're not built that way. The other one is they're taking, so I live in a city that's got about 200,000 and one of the Quad cities has about 20,000. So they're taking our area and in pockets are building the homes, right, for smart cities. But you can't walk anywhere. Like there isn't everything that you need in that area. There's not a dentist and a doctor, and there's not choices of dentists and doctors. Everyone already has their dentist and doctor, and believe me, you'll be lucky if you can just like get a doctor anywhere because they're few and far between here. In the 20,000 town, the same thing. They're building everything on the outskirts, And there's only 3 areas where you can do your shopping. One's on the extreme north, one's on the extreme south, and one's right smack in the middle. And the housing that they're building, which they're saying is like an 80% walk score, it's not. It's not. You're going to work, and most people do not work there. They're working an hour away to an hour and a half away. So you've got to get up in the morning at 7 o'clock to get to your job. You're not getting home till 7 o'clock at night. You're not going to get on your bike or put on your running shoes and walk over to the grocery store and get all your groceries. Ain't going to happen. So 15-minute city is just like a freaking joke. You want to go to a 15-minute city, which I think is kind of cool. Move to a small town. Make sure you live close to everywhere that you would shop. And have a job where you work there so that you have all the free time in the world to walk and get your groceries. And let's not even count all the single parents out there that have a big job to do once they get home from work. Like, what the... Yeah, it ain't gonna work, guys. Just wave, smile,